God, 2022 flew by, and I know that I haven't officially come on here to say Happy New Year to you guys. So this is me wishing you a prosperous 2023 and also wanting to share with you guys what I'm focusing on in the new year, just for the sole reason of you guys holding me accountable. I haven't done one of these kind of videos in a while where I'm talking about my goals or things that I'm planning to do in the new year. But one thing that I realized last year was the fact that sharing what I wanted to do or what I really wanted to accomplish in the year, what I wanted to focus on in the year, really helped me, sort of like kept me accountable. So this video is going to just be me sharing with you guys what I have planned so that you guys can hold me accountable, so that we can celebrate the wins along the way together, and most importantly, so that I don't get overwhelmed along the way and chicken out. If it's your first time here, and if it's not your first time, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with me. Even though I have been very inconsistent in the past years, we'll get to that later. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Last quarter of last year was really hard for me. Unfortunately, I got diagnosed, clinically of depression, and that was because a lot of things were happening to me that was overwhelming, and there weren't a lot of people around to share with. And I think one of you also came from some of the things that I had planned to do in the year that I was struggling with, and which is why I mentioned earlier that one of the reasons why I'm sharing this video is so that I know that I have people who, aside from being accountable to or sharing with you guys as I'm growing and glowing, I have people who understand that sometimes there will be challenges that will not allow us to reach our goals in life. And that way, knowing that there are people who understand what I'm saying, who get me, who know that, some days you get overwhelmed, because of course the depression comes with a lot of things, comes with a lot of anxiety. I currently struggle with a lot of that, such that when I want to do something, I get so afraid that I don't end up doing it. This is like the major reason why I'm sharing some of my goals with you guys. This video is not because I want you to feel like, oh, you don't have a bigger goal or you don't have plans for your life. It is basically for me to get some kind of support that helps me to stay focused, helps me to stay on track, and helps me to continue to push even in the face of fear, in the face of anxiety, or whatever obstacle that life may bring. In past years, what I would usually do with my goals or things like that is to have this whole vision board party, plan out this is how it's going to be, this is how I'm going to do it, and typically kind of like forget that I don't decide what happens in the world. I tend to sometimes forget the fact that there are a lot of other factors in the world that kind of like affect the things that we plan to do. So along the way, when some of the things that I have focused and really, kind of like fixated my mind on do not come to pass, I start to feel like a failure. I start to worry. I start going to the place where I'm like, this thing is failed again. So this year, I'm taking a totally different approach, especially coming from where I was at the last quarter of last year. A lot of things got clearer to me, and I just like, what? This year, we're not going to do things the same way. So the number one goal I'm going to be focusing on this year is surrendering every single thing to God. I'll be honest with you guys, going through what I went through last year, as I started to heal, I started to come out of that place, I sought help. One of the things that really kept imprinting on me is the fact that I got to a place where my relationship with God started to take the back seat, and I started to feel like I could do things on my own. So I started to worry about everything, forgetting that worrying doesn't add anything to me, which was part of how I let myself go, and I just allowed the fear, I allowed the stress and everything to overcome me, forgetting that God has promised me that He's going to take me to my expected end, and all of His plans for me are of good and not evil. I mean, this is not me preaching, but this is me saying to myself, in fact, using this opportunity to remind myself that He has told me that there is no need for me to be afraid. So right now, my focus this year is to 100% surrender to God. Like, God, this is it, this is where I'm at. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get from this point A to point B, but I'm trusting you. And one of the things that I noticed last year was that my mind could never go to rest. I was worrying so much about what had happened yesterday and what I could have done about it. And then I was also worrying about, oh, tomorrow, how am I going to be able to pay for this? How am I going to be able to sort this? And then in the moment, I wasn't living in the moment. such that every single day I'm worrying too much about yesterday and I'm worrying about tomorrow. I was literally oblivious of what was happening in the moment. I was losing my mind. I couldn't sleep. I battled insomnia for so long. I was constantly having headaches because my mind could not rest. At night, I would sit up and be staring into space. So right now, I'm in the place where even when I wake up at night, I'm saying to myself, you can go to sleep because you have God and He's going to deal with it and He's going to handle it. That's like my big focus this year. Continue to surrender to God. Whatever happens, the first thing I'm saying to myself, and I've started to do it already, the first thing I say to myself is, what is God's position? What is God's word about this situation? And then I start to speak God's word to that situation. And once I've done that, there is this peace that just comes over me. There's this calm that comes over me. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever this is, however this is going to end, I trust you, God, to handle it. And I'll be honest with you guys, since I started doing this, it was part of the tools and part of the things that I learned from, going to therapy and going to seek help for, the depression and how I was feeling and the anxiety. I just had to find help. So it was part of the tools that I came back with, and it was like, every single time I have combated the fear, every single time I have faced the fear with the word of God, or I have faced the fear with the word that is factual, I have experienced peace in my soul, in my heart, even in my body. At the peak of the anxiety, at the peak of my depression, once I feel a simple fear, my whole body sort of solidifies. I would just kind of freeze. I would sit down at a spot, my body would be shaking, and it was bad, guys. But I'm not going to do that this year. So like I said, I'm going to just focus on God, focus on surrendering it all to God. Off the back of surrendering things to God is deepening, resuscitating, and just reigniting my intimacy with God. Because the truth is, there is no way you can surrender to somebody. There is no way you can let go of your life, let go of your boat to somebody if you don't have an intimate relationship with them. So by intimacy, I mean more worship, spending more time learning, reading, studying the word, finding more things that I enjoy doing for God. If it is talking to other people, if it is helping out in church, I'm just intentional about deepening my relationship. However it is, this is my personal discussion with God. I'm also asking Him, show me what you want me to do. Show me how I fit into your agenda in this world. How do I fit into the things you want to do? Let me know. That way, it is more of like a heaven down kind of goal, not me telling God what I want to do. This year, my approach is heaven down. Father Lord, what do you want me to do in this situation? How am I a part of this goal you're trying to accomplish? Where do I come in? What do you want me to do? How do I help in bringing this your vision to life? That's my approach this year, and there's no way you can find out without studying the word, without getting closer. So more worship, studying the word, just really whenever it is that something is not clear to me, I am taking space, I'm taking time out to go and introspect and saying, God, what do you want me to do? I want to hear you clearly. Because the truth is, this Father that we can have a direct relationship with Him without any third party. Understanding that you deepening your relationship with God will make it like you're talking to your friend, like your guy. Everything I'm doing, I'm looking at it from heaven down, not bottom up. Because every time I have done bottom up, it has failed me. It has put me in a place where I cannot achieve it, and then I start to cave in into fear, cave in because maybe something has failed. I'm afraid because I'm thinking that every other thing is going to fail. But with God, no. Even if one thing fails, mistakes are an opportunity for me to learn how to do things better. Those are the things I'm realizing and I'm reminding myself. One thing I also find is that when your relationship with God is solid, every other thing is going to hear from that relationship. Every other thing is going to take source. Every other thing is going to take breath. Every other thing is going to take juice from your relationship with God. So my relationship with God, I am going back to it, going back to the drawing board and asking God, where do you want me to function? Where do I fit in your big agenda? Because He has a big agenda, and part of the reason why we are all here is to bring that agenda to life. Something that I want to focus on this year is I want to get serious with my YouTube. I mentioned earlier that I thank you guys for sticking with me all of this year despite all of my inconsistency. Trust me, if you know anyone who has gone through depression, they will tell you that when the feelings come, you can't do anything. No matter how much of a visionary, no matter how much of a smart person, no matter how much of an intelligent person that you are, anxiety is horrible. It will make you literally useless. You're unable to do anything. You have all of these ideas, you have written them down, you have your plan for execution, but it just will not happen because your soul is not agreeing with it. So this year, one of the things I want to do is to really spend time to create content that you guys will find valuable. You guys, I have loads of ideas, loads of topics. I have my book in front of me where I write down all of the ideas. You guys can have a quick look. I mean, if you look on this paper, you can see that I have so much written out on here already. And this is not just on one page. This is like on different, oh my God, I'm not sure if this is focusing. This is on like different pages. These are topics, ideas, you know, that some of them I have even put them on Notion, broken them down, talked about how I'm going to present it, what angle am I coming from. But unfortunately, the events of my life, the things that have happened to me, have made it impossible for me to deliver. So this year, I'm really focusing on delivering on my YouTube channel and sharing the things that God has put in my heart. One of the ways that I'm planning to do that is by, of course, if you guys have noticed already, I've been posting twice a week. And one of the other things I did towards the end of last year was to also sit down and say, how am I going to be able to achieve this? Of course, I know that I need help, I need support. So I've kind of like sought out people that are helping me to do other parts of the video. Aside from me recording, I found someone that is helping me with one other part of this production. I've also found another person who's also helping me with another part of the production, just to make sure that I'm consistent and I'm delivering. Because for me, beyond wanting subscribers, I mean, we all want to have subscribers and be able to get some encouragement and earn something from this and be able to, you know, to move the ministry forward. I really want to share some of the things that I've experienced. When people watch my videos and they leave me a comment and say, oh my God, I wish I saw this earlier. I'll be honest with you guys, there's some guilt that I have because most of the videos are videos that, you know, God has put in my mind to shoot a long time ago, or some that I have shot a long time ago, and I would just sit there, you know, being a perfectionist because the devil is speaking to me and just making me feel like, oh, that video is not good. You know how you make a video and you watch and watch and watch to the point where the video is looking bad to you. I will start to feel like, this video is not good enough. Then I will sit there and just be ripping it apart till it doesn't get edited. Or maybe some I've even given them to editors to edit for me. And when it comes back, just because my relationship with God wasn't at the point where it should be, the devil will keep saying to me, it's not enough. Right now, I am over all of that. Right now, I'm not focusing on perfection. I'm focusing on, is it done? Yes. What can I learn from it? Based on what I've learned from it, how can I do better with the next one? That's what I'm doing. So I am putting it out there so that you guys can hold me accountable. My focus is to put out 2 videos per week. There will be 1 sit-down videos on Wednesday, and there will be another video which is a vlog on Friday, which is more like my everyday life, how I'm living with my children and things that I do that makes my life easy. I want to share it with you guys because I don't know who is going to help. Somebody reached out to me last week. She had accommodation issues. She was in Milton Keynes, and I felt really bad because the things that she told me were things that I had filmed for one of the videos I was filming about my accommodation series. I should have put out a long time ago. And I know she watches my videos. And I know that if she had seen that video, it would have helped her. But one thing I said to myself was that whatever mistake I've made, I don't want to dwell on it, because part of the things that made me depressed was the fact that I was dwelling on mistakes. I was dwelling on things I would have done better, trying to make it perfect. And it didn't. So far, it didn't work for me. So right now, when I make mistakes, I just ask myself, ask Holy Spirit, how can I make this better? Once I hear the word and I understand how to make this better, I just get up and go. Because of that situation that person narrated to me, thank God I was in a position to help her. He being able to help her made me feel better. So I helped her, and then I went back to myself and I said, you know what, this video needs to go out this week. And guess what, guys? That day, I planned out the content. I've already filmed the video, and I'm sure by the time you're watching this video, that video might be out or not, but I finally filmed it. It's already in production, and doing that makes me feel so fulfilled that at least somebody will find that video. If only one person sees my video and it helps them, my job is done. Because one of the things I also was worrying so much about was the fact that, oh, the videos are not getting views. We're all human beings. We feel there's that feeling of, oh, nobody's watching it, there's no gratification, your effort is in vain. I felt that way at some point, and it also contributed to me not being consistent. But I'm not making those excuses going forward. So this year, I'm going to be focusing on doing better with my YouTube channel. I want you guys to hold me responsible. If I'm putting out 2 videos per week, it means that by the end of the year, I will probably have put out 104 videos, pretty much. So 52 weeks here, 104 videos, which will be really good. At the end of the day, somebody would have learned something from me, somebody's life would have been made better, and hopefully this channel would also have grown. So I'm counting on you guys to hold me accountable, and I'm also counting on myself to also stand up to the task and do what is required of me. The number 4 thing that I would like to focus on as one of my goals for the year is to see the world and be more adventurous. Because of how things have turned out for me in the past couple of years, I've been a little bit withdrawn in terms of like, you know, saying yes to things, taking more risk. You know how when you've done things in your life and you failed, there's that feeling of, oh my God, you want to hold to yourself, you want to hold to the known, you want to hold on to the comfortable. But this year, my plan is to step out of my comfort zone, come back to my adventurous self, and I want to see the world. So by seeing the world, I have plans to travel this year. I haven't been out of the UK since 2019, and I kind of feel like that also has an effect on me because I'm a social being. I haven't had the opportunity to see my mom. I haven't had the opportunity to see... Sorry guys. I haven't had the opportunity to see my mom and a lot of people who mean so much to me. So the past 1 year plus, it has almost been like me living like an orphan in this country. And so I haven't had the opportunity to see my mom and people that are so important to me. So I pretty much live like an orphan in this country. And even though I have a couple of friends here and there now, trust me, it gets so lonely. Like, there are some things that I want to discuss with friends, you know, my friends who are a lot more closer. There are things that I want to discuss with my mom. I just want to see my mom's face and just see the people that are close, just so that their faces give me comfort, like make me feel like, you know what, whatever it is, you'll be okay. Just being out here by yourself and family being thousands of miles away and you calling them, it's not the same. So I can't wait to go away from the UK for a bit, visit my mom, visit 1 or 2 other places, and then be more adventurous, be more open to things. When opportunities come to me, I always say no because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. It's just the way that the devil always reminds you of the things that have not worked, such that you start to project that fear onto you. This year, I'm saying no to fear, and I'm saying yes to God, yes to more confidence, yes to more courage, be more adventurous, travel the world, but most importantly, go to where family is, like see family. I know there are a lot of you that are in the UK with your family back in Nigeria, you can understand. Right now, it's almost like I have just myself and, you know, my children. I pretty much don't have any relative. There's nobody I can say, oh, this person is family, and I feel safe and I feel comfortable to share the stuff with them. You know, some things would have even nearly killed you before you get in touch with your family, and even when you get in touch with them, what can they really do more than talk? Honestly, I think one of the reasons why I didn't film this video is because I was afraid that it was going to bring me to the place where I would be teary, but it's okay. I'm happy that at least I know how I feel and I know what I want to do about it. So I'm going to be traveling the world, and hopefully you guys will be coming with me, of course, which means if I travel, there will be loads of vlogs. I will share with you where I go, whatever it is I'm doing. At least you guys have seen me cry. We better be enjoying the travels and the trips together. Last thing that I'm going to be focused on in the new year is to reinvent myself and renew my mind so that I can move away from survival mode to thriving mode. A lot of us, because of events that may have happened to us in our lives, we picked up certain behaviors, certain attitude, and certain mindset that is perfect for the season that we're in. But I have found that the season I'm about to step into, some of the behaviors I have picked up, which has enabled me to survive the past couple of years, I don't need them going forward. And they are the things that are holding me back. I've identified these things in my own private, and I don't feel comfortable to share yet, but you know, I'll just give like a generalized thought about it. So I found that some of those behaviors or some of those attitudes and acts, they no longer fit the person that I'm stepping into. They no longer fit the mindset and the life that I'm stepping into. So I am really focused this year on intentionally getting out of those behaviors. I'm intentionally working on renewing my mind and understanding that these things were useful and they were perfect for a season, but it is time to let them go, because if I don't, they would hinder me and hold me back from stepping into the next stage of my life that I'm going into. This is also me encouraging you to kind of like take a step back and ask yourself, this thing that I'm doing, is it still fit for purpose for the new life? Is it still fit for purpose for the new place? Is it still fit for purpose for where I'm going? If it's not fit for purpose for where you're going, I'll be honest with you, it is not something that you can get rid of overnight, because these are things that you started to do because certain things were happening to you and you've probably done them for a number of years. So getting rid of it also would require a systematic approach. And I'll be honest with you, I have sought professional help to get rid of some of those things. I'm currently working with a therapist so that I can consciously be aware of what I'm doing and how I'm going to get rid of those behaviors as I transition into the new person that I want to be. At the end of the day, we all have the liberty, we all have the right to be whoever we want to be at whatever season of our lives. If who you are today is not serving where you're going, if who you are today, if what your mindset is like this minute is not serving where you're going, and you know whether you need to seek help or you need to just be honest with yourself and do your own evaluation, please go ahead and do it. I did my evaluation and I was very honest with myself. I knew that I couldn't do it by myself. I knew that getting rid of those behavior, I would not be able to do by myself. I sought help. If you need to, I'm encouraging you to do the same. Because the truth is, working with somebody who's a professional is also going to help you to shorten the time it takes you to get to the place where you're going. Because trust me, in the journey of leaving who you were to who you want to be, there will be a lot of relapses. There will be a lot of issues that you will encounter. Because you don't want to undo all the good work that you would have done up to a certain point, maybe hiring a professional may help you. This is what I'm doing. I'm not saying that you have to do it. I'm just recommending that if you have identified that you need it, you should also settle for it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and that's all that I have to share. I honestly hope that you find it useful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I promise you to be consistent. Consider subscribing. We have a lot of fun here. If you know anyone who's going to find this video useful, feel free to share it with them. You'll be doing them a lot of good, and it will mean so much to me that you also support my journey. I am at Gregory-jonah on all social media platforms. I love to connect with people who are subscribed to my channel, who watch my video, and I love suggestions. I love your feedback. Please share your feedback with me. If there is anything you want me to share about, if there's anything you want me to deep dive into, talk more about, I am more than happy to grant your wish. My email address will be somewhere down below. Please, let's keep the email to just business. I am at Gregory-jonah on all social media platforms. Hit the follow button and let's connect. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. And once again, Happy New Year. Bye, everyone.